Hello everyone, Rurikhan here coming at you with another PlayStation 4 video, and today we're going to be talking a little bit about some of the free-to-play titles that are currently available in the region of Europe. Some of these titles are also available in the US. One of them, however, is not, I believe. They're currently working it out, and that particular title is the one that we're going to be addressing first, and that is War Thunder. War Thunder is a free-to-play MMO combat game dedicated to major World War II battles. It combines aerial, ground, and naval multiplayer battles all in one gaming experience. Now, the thing about it is currently the ground and naval I don't believe are available, so that is going to be coming at a later date. As in case you guys don't know yet, War Thunder is actually still in beta, even on the PC side of things. This is a game that originated on the PC and was later announced to be ported to the PlayStation 4. As you guys can see, there is some footage in the background. I am told that the PC version has a lot better graphics, as is to be expected. I mean, the game was only recently ported to the PlayStation 4. I mean, you can't just expect it to come like full blast. I have a couple of complaints in regards to this particular game. The main complaint being the way that you actually control the plane, because the control scheme is designed around keyboard and mouse. And in order to try and keep the game as close as they possibly can to the PC version, the same control scheme was applied to the console version. So basically, instead of the usual controls that you've come to expect for a flight sim, not really a flight sim, even an arcade flight shooter or whatever, anything really, you would expect, like, you know, you use the left stick of your controller to kind of go up or down, and the plane kind of responds to that. In War Thunder, it actually works a little bit differently. You actually have a cursor, and you aim that cursor where you want your plane to go, and the plane will kind of like maneuver itself to go in the general direction that your cursor is aiming to. You can also use the right stick to get your plane to roll. But that's about it. That actually makes performing loops a little bit challenging if you're new to the game. I mean, I know that I've crashed many of planes as I was trying to figure out the control scheme. I was even like, this flat out doesn't work, because I was expecting it to kind of work like your standard flight sims on consoles, and it's just a different control scheme. Now, they might be improving upon that at a future date. We still don't know. Also, if you have a PC account for War Thunder, and you might be wondering, can I play with my PC account? Currently, the answer is no. Their response is, and I've been checking official FAQs as well as a lot of player feedback, and basically their answer is cross-platform. For starters, you cannot do cross-platform play right now, which means that eventually they do have plans to allow PlayStation 4 and PC to do crossplay. However, you cannot use your PC account. Sony Computer Entertainment's current policy requires you to create a new account for the PlayStation 4, so you can't use your existing one. They also said that they really hope that Sony Computer Entertainment someday will change this, but this is up to them only. If that they will come, they will try to make the merging of the accounts possible. And while it will be technically impossible to merge 100% of your progress on both platforms, they're going to be trying to do their best. They're saying that basically it all depends on Sony, and Sony says that you have to create a new account in order to play War Thunder on the PlayStation 4. So existing PC players that have invested, you know, money and stuff like that, because this is a free-to-play title, but you can buy premium currency that gives you access to certain things that other players have to work. But usually it's convenience items. You don't really get stuff that can give you unfair advantage in battles. And basically, if you're invested in your PC account, it's going to be kind of hard for you to actually go into the PlayStation 4 and start from scratch, or so I would imagine. Now, the thing is, they do say that if you're starting up right now with War Thunder and you create a PlayStation 4 account, they say that you can use that to play on the PC. Whether or not this is going to like sync your progress in between platforms is still very vague at this point. Therefore, I do not want to commit to any particular answer. I will try to report back when I know more about this. But if you're looking to play an historical MMO plane shooter, as well as it's going to have tanks and ships in the future in your PlayStation 4, this is a game that is currently available for you to try out. If you guys want to know more about War Thunder, just in case you don't know that much about the game, I would advise you to visit the channel of my very good friend SideStrafe. I'll make sure to leave a link in the description. He's also at the very top of the recommended channels on my channel, so it should be pretty easy to find his channel there. And he does regular content on War Thunder, and he is 100 times more knowledgeable on the topic of War Thunder than I am, so make sure to check that out for yourselves. The next title that is also available to you completely free of charge and free to play, and by the way, you guys don't even need PlayStation Plus to play these titles. Some people might think that you do because you require to have PlayStation Plus to play multiplayer. Not on these free-to-play titles, because the way it works is these titles have like a separate currency thing that you can pay to get stuff within these games. So obviously Sony doesn't want you guys to double dip on that. So they don't demand you to have PlayStation Plus in order to play these titles. Either way, the second title I want to talk about is DC Universe Online. Now, this is a title that I have played before on the PlayStation 3. This is a Sony title, and there should be no issues whatsoever with your accounts, like if you have a PC account or if you have a console account, because as far as I'm aware, this is fully compatible. I'm not sure if it is cross-play or not. Most likely, yes, it is cross-play, because the way that the game looks, at least because I've played it on the PlayStation 4 and on the PlayStation 3, and I played it again on the PlayStation 4, and it seems like it's pretty much the same game. The textures are just a little bit better. It kind of looks like the PC version, so to speak. So I do believe that this is cross-platform across all three platforms. It is basically an MMO, which kind of works pretty much like your typical fantasy MMOs or any other MMOs, except the theme is around DC superheroes. So you're gonna get to like make a superhero, and your mentor can be Superman or the Flash or whatever. And basically you're gonna have superpowers. I do believe that they have the Holy Trinity in this game as well. So you're gonna be having a role, either a tank or a DPS or a healer. I mean, I'm hoping you guys are familiar with MMO terms, because this is pretty much the way that this game works. The one complaint that I have about it is that I was playing a little bit to get you guys the footage that you're watching in the background, and I noticed that at least in the very first few quests, it was very much the whole kill 10 rats thing. I mean, sure, and instead of killing 10 rats, is like go and kill 15 gorillas, and then it's like go and kill 20 gorillas. So it does appear to be a little bit grindy, but I do like the combat system. The combat system is cool, because like you swing your weapon and what you hit, as opposed to having tab targeting, as opposed to having a tab targeting system. So if it looks like you would enjoy the action that's going down in the background, you might enjoy DC Universe Online. Either way, it's free to check it out if you want a PlayStation 4 or even a PlayStation 3. So in case you guys still have your PlayStation 3s, and for those of you that are purchasing PlayStation 3s this Christmas, yes, there are a lot of people that are going to be purchasing PlayStation 3s this Christmas, believe me, with the deep discounts that are going to be coming around due to the fact that the PlayStation 4 is now out. So this is also available on the PlayStation 3 for you guys. So if this looks interesting in any way, make sure to check it out and go ahead and have some fun, because if you guys know, because I realize that in the console world, a lot of people aren't really used to the whole MMO thing, because there's not a whole lot of MMOs in consoles, but MMOs will last you quite a long time if you enjoy the experience, because they're basically designed around the concept of trying to keep players engaged for as much time as possible. So MMOs will last you a long time. So in case you go through your launch titles super fast, here are a couple of titles that you can invest some more time into. So you got War Thunder, and now you've got DC Universe Online, and now there is one more free-to-play title available in Europe, and this one I know that is also available in the US. Also, I believe that DC Universe Online should also be available on the US, should be fine. But the other title is probably, in my opinion, the strongest of the three that I was talking about. At least this is my personal opinion, because I've been kind of supporting this particular title since its very early beginnings on the PC side of things, and that is Warframe. Warframe is an amazing title. I cannot recommend Warframe enough from a gameplay standpoint, as well as just the overall game design, and now they're even like starting to build up some lore around the game and whatnot. So there is a lot of Warframe content. Well, a lot. I think it's like 10 videos, 11 videos on Warframe on my channel. So I'm going to be sure to put a link in there as well, so that you guys can check out my previous videos on Warframe, my first impressions, how the game works, and all that stuff, in case you guys are curious about it. And Warframe is just, it's a third-person shooter, but it's a co-op game. So it's not a PvP game, and it's not like a full-fledged, I mean, they call it an MMO, but the thing is, there's no persistent world. You're basically going to be doing missions with other players. I believe it is up to 4 players. I don't think they changed that. So you can play cooperatively with up to 4 players. These can be either 3 friends or 3 complete strangers plus yourself. Or you can just go yourself and a friend. The missions dynamically scale. They become harder depending on the amount of players there are in them. There's also a lot of different types of missions that you can do. The maps are procedurally generated, so a lot of the times you're not going to know the map itself. Like, you might know a couple of portions of the layout, you might see that repeated, but usually you will not be able to know one of the maps fully. That's just the way the game works. And it is a lot of fun. It is basically Space Ninjas is the theme of the title. You're going to be unlocking a lot of Warframes, which is basically the armor that your character uses. You're going to be unlocking a lot of those. You're going to be unlocking a lot of weapons and that stuff. You're basically constantly working towards crafting new Warframes and upgrading your Warframes and all that stuff. The gunplay is tremendously solid, and I know that I'm talking a lot more about Warframe than what I've said about the other titles, but that's just because I know a lot more about Warframe than what I know of the other titles. So there's just a ton of content in Warframe. Like, you can literally play Warframe for hours on end, and I feel that you're going to have a great time doing it. However, there is obviously the issue of those of you that have a PC account. You guys might be wondering, well, I want to, I want to start playing on the PlayStation 3. How's it going to work in regards to my PC account? And at the moment, you cannot use your PC account. However, they are going to allow you to do a one-time migration from your PC to the PlayStation 4. This is the official news, like the latest news that I can find on the topic. I've been researching both this as well as War Thunder because it's kind of a complex thing, mixing the PlayStation 4 accounts with the PC accounts and all that. I was ridiculously surprised when I started Warframe, and so where do I put my login information, because I already have a PC account. As a matter of fact, I'm very much invested in my PC account because I spent like 40 euros or something, and I bought a Founders Pack because I really wanted to support this title. More so than actually wanting the rewards, because to be completely honest, you get like 1,000 platinum or something for those 40 euros plus a couple of extra things, and I still have those 1,000 platinum in my account. I barely spent any of them, but I am very much invested in the PC version of Warframe, and that's one of the things that actually makes me a little bit sad, which is they're saying that it's not going to be possible to have duality, which is something that they said they were trying to work on. And what that means is you were supposed to be able to accompany the progress between your PlayStation 4 and your PC. So let's say you would have your Warframe, whatever, and you would be level 15 on the PC, for instance, and then you would go and play on the PlayStation, and you would level up 2 levels with that same Warframe. Then you would go back to the PC, and it would be cool if you were 17 as well, with all the progress that you did on the PlayStation. It doesn't look like that's going to be happening. It looks like once you migrate your account over to the PlayStation 4, that's that. It's like it basically copies your PC account one time, and at that point the accounts kind of become separate. So you can play on the PC or you can play on the PlayStation 4, but they act as 2 completely separate accounts. Therefore, they will progress in different ways, which is it's really disappointing. I was really looking forward to a much more connected experience. They do say that they're going to be working on crossplay, allowing PC players to play with PlayStation 4 players. They say that's not really a big problem. They're just working on it. They need to implement the latest version of Warframe, which is still currently not available on the PlayStation 4. And yeah, it just makes me a little bit sad that you can't actually have both things always in sync, because it would be cool to be able to, play on the PC, then play on your PlayStation 3. And yeah, apparently that is not going to be happening. Either way, Warframe is still a pretty solid title, so it all depends now if you want to continue your progress on the PC side of things, or if you don't own a PC and you're just going to be starting out on the PlayStation 4. It still comes highly recommended by me, regardless of whatever your decision is in regards to Warframe. I have a lot of fun with the title. I really like the title, and I would recommend it to everyone. So these are 3 titles that you guys are going to be able to play completely for free on your PlayStation 4s, and they will kind of like extend your waiting times, because I know that a lot of you guys are just like so addicted to the PlayStation 4 that like you guys have bought your launch titles, and by now you've probably finished your launch titles, and you're just like, God damn it, there's nothing to do on my console. And so here's a couple of titles that can keep you busy in case you did not already knew about them. Either way, that is going to be it for this particular video. I'm going to try and stay up to date in regards to the whole console migration issues for both Warframe and War Thunder, and because I would really like them to see them just see, look, it's going to be synced, PC account, PlayStation 4 account, and I know that everybody would love to see that. I mean, there's a couple of black sheep from the PC community that are like, PlayStation 4, we don't need no PlayStation 4s. Like, they don't even recognize that having a bigger community is just good for everyone. They're just like concerned with their bickering and whatnot. And there's probably people on the PlayStation 4 side as well that are saying, we don't need no stinking PCs. Because for whatever reason, this rivalry exists between different platforms. And to be completely honest, I just find that totally and utterly ridiculous. But that is just me. Like I said, I will try to stay up to date on that, and if you guys enjoyed any of these titles and you own a PlayStation 4, you owe it to yourselves to check out the store and see some of those free titles. Now, there is a title that is currently not available on the European side of things, therefore I cannot really show it, but for you guys in the US, you can also try out Blacklight Retribution if you think you're going to enjoy that, but I can't really tell you that much about it because I currently cannot play it. As per usual, thank you very much for watching. Leave me your comments, feedback, all that kind of good stuff in the comment section below, and I will see you guys in the next one.